Hi everyone, Miss O'Connor here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a butterfly. As you can see, this one is true with the black and orange colors, but I'm going to show you how to sketch one to prepare for watercolor. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the center of my butterfly. I'm going to use a pencil so I can always erase if I make a mistake. I'm going to start by drawing this long, almost curvy shape, and that will be the base. You can always make it longer for your butterfly to be a little bit larger, like this. My next step is to add the top part of my wings. Now there's multiple ways to do this, but just try your own or follow along with me. Kind of at the top of this long string bean, I'm going to bring one side out, kind of slight curve. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And if they're not even, you can always erase to try again. Now I'm going to bring this side down, kind of a curve, and bring it back around a little bit. I can then bring it all the way in, back towards my string bean. I'm going to want it to come all the way back up here though, connecting those lines. And the same thing is going to happen to the other side. And it's okay if it's not 100% perfect or even, as you can see in mine. Because butterflies are in nature, they're more organic. It's okay if they're not exactly the same. Now my next part is to draw the bottom part of my wings. Now I'm not going to start all the way from my string bean. Instead I'm going to come out from the top wing and go down and around, touching the bottom of that shape. Now I notice that one's actually quite oval, isn't it? So again, I can erase, make it come in a little bit more. The same thing happens over here. Down, around. Remember to draw a light until you get it right, so you can easily erase if you have a mistake. Now I'm noticing this one comes down a lot further, and even art teachers make mistakes. So I'm going to fix that to make them a little bit more even. My next step is to add the parts where it will be orange later. And the way I like to do that as a guide is I start near at the top. I replicate or do the same thing I did in the outer part on the inside. I'm going to do that to both sides. And as you can see with the top one, that's where the black will go later. Now I'm going to do the same to the bottom. I can start all the way at the center or out here. And I'm going to do just a very general light line. I'll probably have to erase this later to show where that inner parts are going to be. Now this was quite fun, to draw the lines on the inside for the orange. I like to start at the top. Like this shape, I'm going to do that inside of here, just a little smaller. And I do that to both sides. And then I can add some extra what look like fingers almost, coming out towards the end. I can erase that original line I drew, and now I have some awesome lines for my orange section later. I'm going to do the same over here. Now I can do the bottom part. The same thing's going to happen, making these long fingers coming down inside that space. And whatever I do to one side, I do to the other as well. Adding ones that look like they're coming out from underneath, extending all the way out to that shape I made before. Eventually, you're going to want to make it almost line up to that shape, these finger-like shapes. Now at this stage, you could color it like this, or to prepare for our watercolor resist, I'm going to add crayon, because the oils in the crayons do not react well with the water. So the water from the paint will go around it, and you'll still be able to see these lines. So I might use my white crayon for some of the circles up here and around in the black space. So I'm just creating little dots that you can't even see. They're invisible right now. But next week when you add paint, you'll see them nice and bright. Going all the way around with my white crayon on the outer part. Now I think another good use for these crayons for oil resist is the black middle part. So now I can use my crayon to fill in this space. Uh-oh, I think my crayon is almost done. So I'm going to use some gray too. Oh, I almost forgot something. Did you see what I forgot? The antenna. 2 little lines. Now I can also use my black or my gray to go on top of the lines for where the orange will go later, so you still see those black lines when you paint over it. For instance, I'm going right on top of my pencil lines, but not filling in. That will be for later with paint. You can do either one of these, or both. You can do one fully colored for this week, and you can do one that is ready for paint next week. Now I'm going to continue adding more crayon on top of these lines. You can also do the outer part, but I'm going to wait to fill in with color for next week. Enjoy!